Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is your girl, Nashi. It's Monday. Good morning, you guys. It is a brand new day. It is a brand new day to a work week for me. It is a brand new day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. It is a Monday, beautiful, sunny Monday morning. I just wanted to get on and I just wanted to share a little something this morning. So yesterday I wasn't really, all up high in my spirit. Yesterday, well, I was, but yesterday was a bit of a worship day for me. So I wasn't really high, all cheery and everything. For the second half of my day, I will say that. Not really sure, like what was going on, but I just wanted to share this with you guys. So this morning, I woke up and I wasn't really feeling all high, like cheery, how I usually am. But so as I was feeling that way, I'm laying in the bed and I said, you know what, let me, I had some quiet time, and then I had put on this video, and it was a recording. It's talking about how you need to push through everything that you're going through, the pain, the ups, the downs, all of those things, right? So I'm listening and I'm like, you know what, this is what I needed. When we go through things, it's so easy for us to worship God when things are going good. When everything is going good, you done paid your bills on time, your kids acting right and all of that. But there's a certain part of yourself where you really have to get to the point in your relationship. Really, it comes with having a relationship with the Lord, that you recognize that you need to worship God when you're up and when you're down. So this morning I was laying there and I wasn't feeling all that great, so I started listening to this video, and it was talking about worshiping God when things are up and things are up, and things are down, and, things are topsy-turvy. Your world sometimes feel like it's going every which way, but the right way is supposed to go, right? So I'm listening. So I get up and I'm like, all right, getting ready to go to work and all that stuff. So I said, well, let me just go, like to the store or whatever. I heard worship twice this morning. So I go to the store, go to the Poppy store around the corner. And I went to get a pack of gum. So when I go in, normally when I go, they play, their music or whatever, Spanish music, stuff I be bopping my shoulders to, and all of that. But this morning I go in and I didn't really pay attention to the music this morning. Not right away. So I purchased my gum. As I'm leaving, I hear this song. And it was none other than, here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. But this is the thing. It was not in English. It was in Spanish. But how about this? I backed up. I said, okay, Lord, I hear you. And so I walked over. I said, this is a good song right here. And he looked at me, he nodded his head. I've never, as long as I've been going to that store, I have never heard them play anything different than their upbeat, the rap and, the music that they play. But this morning, it was just different. And I said, you know what, Lord, thank you for that push. Thank you for that reminder that although I am in a little low in my spirit, that is when we have to push harder to worship God when we're down. We hear it all the time. Worship God when you're up. Worship God when you're down. Where sometimes when you're down, you don't feel motivated to pray. You don't feel motivated to worship. But that is the very thing that you need to do. Even when it's just, Lord, I don't know what is going on. I need you to help me. God is a wonderful God. When I think about all that God has done, I think about his faithfulness to me. I'm not always up. I have a lot of low days just well as high days, but I have learned and I'm still learning that when I am low in my spirit, I have to draw closer to the Lord. And that is what he gave me. He let me know that he was with me and that he wanted me to draw closer to him. So I pray this morning. I pray that someone who is not so great in their spirit, that if you are a little low in your spirit, if you are in the middle of some uncertainties, because I know that I am in the midst of some uncertainties. Listen, the Lord is growing me up in so many ways. I am pushing through. Some days I feel like that I'm not pushing through. Some days I don't push. Some days I just sit. But even when I sit, even when I don't know, I know that the Lord is with me. I know that he knows and he identifies with everything that I am going through. I pray today that somebody would be encouraged, and that you would remember that no matter where you are, whether you are high and everything is going good, the bills have been paid, your kids are intact, you got that job, all of the things that can go right in your life, there's going to be a season. There's going to be some moments that things are not going to be good. So instead of going off the deep end, we have to remember and be mindful that the same God who was there when things were going good, he's the same God that is there when you're low in your spirit, when things are not going good, when you have been tossed from side to side. But as long as you stay communed with God, as long as you stay actively seeking him and asking for direction, even when you don't know what to do, even when you don't know how things are going to turn out, the Lord knows. I love the Lord. He has reminded me. And we need reminders because, see, our mind will have us thinking something totally different. But if you are not sure of who you are, and if you are not sure of the God that is in your life, who is the creator of all things, you will be tossed everywhere and your emotions will be all out of whack. You're going to be frantic constantly. You are going to be stressed, constantly down, constantly being offended, constantly offended, constantly feeling hurt, constantly feeling oppressed, constantly in anxiety, constantly getting so down in your spirit that you cannot maneuver and function in life. We have to remember that we serve a God who looks high and who looks low. And even when I say look low, that means just like when you're low in your spirit, God sees you. This morning, I am so grateful because God gave me that reminder. I am with you. Although you may feel a little down in your spirit for whatever reason, because we go through some things in here. We struggle with some things in here. We're still holding to some things in here. But God is with us. And he reminded me this morning, no matter where I am, to worship me. To worship me. To worship me. The song said, here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you are my God. In another language. In the poppy store. But I knew that song. I knew those lyrics. I knew. When I heard it, I said, oh my gosh, I had to back up. In a familiar place that I was not used to hearing anything about worshiping or acknowledging God ever. This is why we have to be careful. We cannot judge. We cannot assume that just because a person does not always display certain things, that they don't have a connection or a relationship or know who God is. That store, I totally see it differently. And who knows? Yes. Hey, Miss Pat. Yes, worship is our intimacy with God. And you know what? This morning, I just could not get it together emotionally. But it was okay because I said, all right, I'm like, Lord, you already know where I'm at. And when I went in that store, and as I'm walking out, I caught the melody. I said, oh my gosh, I am grateful that the Lord knows me. I am grateful that I know him. I am so grateful that no matter where I am, that he is with me. See, he was walking with me the whole time. Sometimes when we're down in our spirit, we feel alone. We feel very much alone, like nobody knows, nobody understands, nobody cares. But it was a reminder for me. It was a reminder for me that God is continuously with me. I already know that. But again, when you are so down in your spirit, sometimes your emotions would just take you every which way. And if you're not careful, you're going to stay in that hurt. You're going to stay in that pain. You're going to stay in that despair. You're going to stay in that unworthy. I don't feel worthy. You're going to stay in I don't feel adequate. Listen, I feel all of those things for a number of reasons. I have moments of feeling those things. And it's not one person who don't go through those things. And if they do, then they are a liar. And I believe that they are struggling with some things and they're just trying to cover it up. We all go through various emotions because our lives aren't perfect. But God walks with us and we have to learn to worship him when we are up and when we are down. Just like we worship him when things are up, we have to worship him when things are down. He is a faithful God. He is always with us. He knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows everything. He knows the deepest, darkest secret of yours. Whether you think nobody knows and nobody else may know, but God knows. He knows why you cry when ain't nobody looking. He knows why you up all night. He already knows. He already knows. And for somebody's midnight is somebody's morning. I am grateful this morning. And it was important for me to just share that because a lot of times, you know, I get on and I'm up and hey everybody, that's how I feel. That's not a front, that's not fake. But this morning, it was just different. And I am grateful that because I wasn't high in my, in my spirit, I wasn't feeling that great this morning. I was feeling a little emotional. But it was a reminder. Although I know who the Lord is, I know. But I just love when he shows up. I just felt like he was like, bam, here I am. Don't worry. I just felt like he was like, bam, it's okay. I got you. And that's why I love him. I love him so much because he always reminds me that he's walking with me. When I walked in that place, yes, I was feeling a certain type of way. But it's nothing like knowing the Lord is walking with you. It's nothing like knowing that the Lord sees you. How many of us think that no one sees us? How many of us walk around thinking that nobody sees us? But God is the one who sees. And I forgot. It's Jehovah. I can't remember the name, but it's the God who sees. He sees us. And he cares. When you think nobody cares, he cares. He has his watchful eye on us. He is our shepherd. And we have to recognize that he is our shepherd and we don't want for anything. And when you think about not wanting, it says, you are my shepherd, I shall not want. When you say I shall not want, that means he meets our every need. Elroy. Elroy, the God who sees. God is amazing. Somebody is walking around in despair, feeling unloved, unlovable, unforgiven, just unworthy. I love that God is. I remember as a child moving around and being bullied in school. Because we moved around so much, I was always the new kid. Being bullied and not realizing or recognizing, yes, the God who sees us, that's right. And I remember, this made me think, I remember I had enough at this one school. I had enough, and I remember that was the first time I prayed, and I was like, Lord, please, these kids are so, and I was a little girl. I remember saying, Lord, I don't want to be at the school anymore because the kids are so mean. Listen, the next week we was leaving. The God saw me. He saw my hurt. He saw my despair. And most importantly, he heard my voice. He heard my voice. God hears you. God sees you. He see you. He see you. If nobody sees you, he sees your heart. So listen, I am encouraged today. I'm encouraged. God showed up in the unlikely place that I did not ever expect to experience him, and that was in my corner poppy store. Yes, it was. Yes, Lord. Yes, Miss Pat. I am grateful today. I am grateful today that God heard me and that he saw my heart. He saw my heart. And he said, here I am. Here I am to worship. Here I am to worship you, Lord. Here I am to say that you're my God. You are altogether lovely. God is so lovely. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all have never experienced the gentleness of God, it's the most amazing thing ever. He is so gentle. He will handle you with the care that he knows that we need, because we are fragile. We are his masterpiece. We are fragile. We are rare. And if we're not careful, if we don't handle ourselves with care, we can destroy our own selves. But the great thing is, God being our shepherd, he knows how to take care of us. When we try to mishandle ourselves, he said, no, I got you. I'm faithful to you. I got you. I'm going to watch over you. I'm going to keep you. Yes, he is all-knowing and all-seeing God. He is absolutely amazing. And I just thank him, and I'm grateful this morning. So if I can't leave you guys with anything else, I pray that this encourages you to draw closer to the Lord. And even if you're down in your spirit and you don't know what to say, just remember that God knows and he sees. And if you call out to him, and it don't have to be long and drawn out, all it takes is a simple Jesus, or God, please help me, he will answer. This is your girl, Nancy. It's Monday, and I'm worshiping God. I'm going to worship God, even when I don't have it all together. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. God bless.